Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Next Goal Wins. Today we're talking about the game tomorrow. The game we all know is Leicester against Watford, 3 o'clock kickoff, King Power Stadium. We're back home. So what do I think is going to happen in the game then? We do this every preview. Just quickly on this preview, I tried to get a Watford fan involved, so it's not just me the whole time, but no one replied to me in time for video to get up. So unfortunately it's just my ugly mug again for 5-10 minutes. But yeah, what I think is going to happen in the game then, I think it's going to be a game that is quite difficult. Watford have had a few really good results the past 2 games. Obviously, they beat Stoke away and then beat West Ham at home, both by the same scoreline, 2-0. And we know where the big dangers are going to come from. Troy Deeney and Ighalo. Deeney is a player that we should obviously know about. I mean, I'm not even going to mention what happened last time we played them. I don't want to mention it. I don't want to remember it. Last time we played Watford and Deeney scored against us, shall we say. But yeah, we're a different side to them, Watford are a different side to them, but Troy Deeney is still the same player as he was then. When we played him, I really rated Deeney. I thought he was a player we should have signed actually when we went up to the Premier League last season. Last we did not. Deeney stayed at Watford and he's here now, and he got his first goal against Stoke a few weeks back, and that has really, you'd think, set him on the right path now for scoring goals in the Premier League. He's proven he can score goals anywhere, and he obviously has scored goals against us in the past. He's physical, strong, and he can finish. And alongside him is the quick, fast striker who's taken kind of a Premier League. If Jamie Vardy wasn't there, he'd be the main talking point. But 7 goals in 11 games for Ighalo. He's had an amazing 2015. Scored pretty much all of Watford's goals at the back end of last season to help get them promoted. I can't remember how many it was exactly, but something like 20 after Christmas, which is just ridiculous. The Nigerian international now, and kind of, like I said, he's just been the talking point for this Watford side. They haven't scored many goals, but when they have scored goals, they've invariably come from him. He is fast, and that is a danger for us. Obviously, if we play Hoof and Morgan at the back, they are fast, but Ighalo might be able to get past them, and he's proved this season, as well as the back end of last season, that he can finish and he can score goals. So stopping those two up front is our biggest task tomorrow, there's no doubt about that. I think we've got a strong back four there. Obviously Simpson started playing well. I'd like to see Fuchs come back in tomorrow. I've put that in my team. I think obviously he was injured for the last game or had a bit of a niggle, but I'd like to see him come back in just because we conceded more goals without him there. He seems more solid defensively, and it allows kind of for Mahrez to then go up front because you can have Schlupp on one wing and Albrighton on the other one. So that is really what I would do. Or Dyer on the wing obviously, but away from that then, Leicester's team, you can see down on the screen there, I've put it down there. Dyer and Albrighton are interchangeable for me. Albrighton obviously set up 2 goals last week, but hasn't been brilliant. Dyer's pace, I think, could cause problems for that Watford defence. They aren't the fastest. You see Craig Cathcart in there. People like that just aren't the fastest players, and we can really utilise our pace and get past them. We do have to talk about him again. Jamie Vardy, 11 goals now in 11 games. He's scored in 8 successive. He's looking for 9 in a row. If he gets 9 in a row, we just have to keep going on and on about him. I hope he does it, obviously. Watford at home, he couldn't really have asked for a nicer game, I guess, in a way. Not no disrespect to any Watford fans, but for him to get another goal into this amazing run he's on. I saw, and I'm sure you will have seen, Roy Hodgson mentioning that he shouldn't be worrying where he plays for England, shouldn't be pushing for a place, and I think that's complete bollocks really. I like Hodgson in a lot of ways, but that's just not true. He should be pushing for a place. Or more importantly, a comment I saw on Twitter, someone put, he shouldn't have to fight for his place. That's irrelevant, Roy. You should play him up front as a central striker because he's far superior to what everyone else has done this season for England. But away from England, like I said, he should be playing up front for England, but for us he plays up front, and that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. As long as he plays well for us, I don't really care too much what happens for England. It's nice to see a Leicester player represent him, but if he scores 22 goals for us this season and never plays for England again, then I'll be a happy, happy bunny. Mahrez, obviously, I would play him up front in this game. He has to play. 2 goals in the last outing away to West Brom, played really well. And for me, Okazaki, Ujo and Kramaric together haven't done enough to justify a place. And Mahrez, when he plays in the middle, he's brilliant. Better than he is on the wing, because he can kind of jink in and out of players, and he can make those backstick runs that we saw when he scored his 2 goals the other week. And just having him up front, I think, offers more options to us because of the way he can dive in and out and shimmy. It gives us kind of more options than when Ulloa's there. We know he's the big man who can hold it up, and when Okazaki's there, he's a workhorse, but Mahrez is that something that I think we need up there, and he can work. He doesn't often work as hard as obviously people around him, but he does still work hard, and if you look at the end of games, surprisingly, he's always up there as the most distance covered. Okazaki hasn't done enough for me in general. Like I've said in a few videos, I don't remember him having a shot since he scored against West Ham, and that was about 6-7 weeks ago now, and I don't remember him having a shot 9 weeks ago even. I don't remember him having a shot since. Ulloa didn't do anything really when he came into the side, and Kranich hasn't really been given a chance, so that's why I'd play none of them and kind of convert Mahrez into that striker or behind Vardy and have him, Albright, and then Dyer or Schlupp or Dyer or Albright, whoever, as those kind of three embedded in behind him with flair, good crossing, pace, trickery. Those three cover all bases, and that is one thing that I think will be really successful in tomorrow against West Ham, is creating against Watford. Is creating chances. I think we will create chances, and I think we'll score goals. You can see above the screen there's the top predictions on all the betting websites that have been put together. 3-1 is actually the top betting odds. The most people put a bet on, which is a bit surprising to me. 15-1 that is, so you can have a punt on that if you want. 3-1. I don't think it'll be that high. I think 2-1 or 2-0 will win. I don't know if we'll concede many this game. We might concede the one. I think it will obviously come from your inevitable Dini or Igalo. I have to say that. Same about Abdi's been in quite good form for them. And a few players have played quite well. Etienne Capoue seems to have settled in better than he did at Tottenham. So, you know, Watford aren't going to be kind of a team we're just going to turn over. We'll probably go behind again and win. That seems to happen in pretty much all of our games at the moment. Unless we keep a clean sheet, which has happened once, we go behind and win. So it'll be one of those two things. We'll either keep a clean sheet and win, or we'll go from behind, come from behind and win. One real weak point for Watford, I think, is goalkeeper Aurelio Gomez, who, yes, I know he's kind of a Premier League experienced keeper, but he's always been mistake prone, and he hasn't made too many mistakes this season. So that means he's going to make one against us, doesn't it? That's logic. Think about that. He's mistake proven and he hasn't made one yet. So he has to make one against us, doesn't he? I think if we put pressure on him and shoot from range, I think we will get a few chances. Obviously, Inler won't be playing. He'll be on the bench just because he hasn't done enough in cup games to impress, and the team's going to be kind of what it is. Danny Drinkwater obviously will be in the centre of the park next to our finest player this season, away from Jamie Vardy and N'Golo Kanté. Then you got Fuchs coming back in at left back, like I said, Danny Simpson, the rejuvenated Danny Simpson at right back, Casper in goal, and your two usual centre-halves. You can see the Watford team down there as well. I won't go through all that, but you can see that's the predicted team by all the papers and from recent games I've kind of piled and pieced together. I think, though, in this game, it's going to be crucial for us to get the first goal. I don't know necessarily, I know I just said and contradicted myself that we'll probably come from behind and win, but I think it's important to get the first goal in this game because our luck will run out eventually. If we keep going behind, it can't keep happening. That's just logic, and logic dictates over everything eventually. Watford, if they do go ahead, can sit back and drop really deep. So I think getting the first goal will be important. Start strong like we did at the start of the season at home against Sunderland and against these teams. Start quick, get Vardy in behind, run at Cathcart, run at these centre-halves who aren't the strongest. Watford don't score many goals, so if we get the first goal, then I know they've kept 2 clean sheets in their last game and scored 2 goals, but apart from that, they lost 3-0 to Arsenal, obviously at home, drew away to Bournemouth, which isn't a brilliant result, and then lost at home to Palace. So they haven't had really, really good results apart from those last 2. Kiki Sanchez Flores obviously is their manager. We don't know too much about him in the Premier League yet, but I'm aware of him from what he did in Spain, and obviously Ranieri's aware of him from taking over at Valencia. I'm sure you also saw his very funny press conference when he made his funny "I want to kill him" joke. The link will be in the description if you want to check it out if you haven't seen it already. But hilarious from Ranieri, and it's stuff like that that shows kind of what kind of brilliant team spirit we have this season, but Ranieri can make those jokes. Few people said Stringer's question was stupid, but I'm not sure if he meant it like that, Ranieri. I think he was just having a joke. He knows Stringer. He's been interviewed by him this season. I think he was just having a joke with him. It maybe wasn't the best question ever, but it's good to see Ranieri's got that humour and didn't just kind of whisk it away and move on to the proper questions. And that's what I like to see from my manager. I like to see performances on the pitch and a personality off the pitch, but a good one, not like Pearson's personality was. Anyway, that is all for this short little preview. We'll have another review on after the game, after it's all said and done tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be another positive one. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think the score will be. Please like the video as always, and please subscribe. I'll see you in the next.